I've always had hearing difficulties, and for about the past 20 years, I've worn a hearing aid. And I would say that the last 5 to 7 years, it has become more and more difficult for me to hear. And I found myself separating myself from the group. Although I had hearing aids, no matter how loud they could make the sound for me, I still was missing some sounds. Things like doorbells I wouldn't always hear, and then phone conversations were almost impossible to understand. I serve as the executive director of Sacred Heart Villa, which is a child development center for children from the ages of 2 through kindergarten. Most of my work as executive director is a lot of mission advancement and development. And so I do a lot of meeting and greeting people one-on-one. And so it's really critical for me to be able to hear and speak to the people that I'm working with. I know if I wanted to continue in ministry, I had to do something else.
Well, I think what really stood out in Sister Jude's case was how active she was and how important her hearing was to her. You know, some patients are not very interactive with others and kind of keep to themselves, and Sister Jude is an extrovert, and she needed help hearing, and I think those around her needed us to help Sister Jude with her hearing. So we were delighted to step in and help her with that.
It took several different hearing tests, scans to make sure my ear structure was correct, and then they needed to also to determine which side the cochlear implant would be on. And then I just went for it. I just said, okay, I'm gonna hang from the limb of the tree and swing.
Day of surgery is always exciting for everyone. The surgery itself is not that big a deal. It usually takes 2 hours plus or minus. The vast majority of patients can go home the same day. Usually I see the patient back within a week or 2 of surgery. That's just a quick check to make sure that everything looks good in terms of the incision. The incision is usually a small one just behind the ear and the hairline, so it's very difficult to see. And then about 3 weeks after surgery, plus or minus, the device gets turned on by the audiologist. So the patient doesn't wake up hearing immediately after surgery because we want to wait for the wound to heal and for everything to look good before they start wearing the external part of the device.
When it was first turned on, I could remember the audiologist saying to me, "That's your voice you hear." And at first I wanted to cry because I said, "That's my voice? What am I hearing?" It sounded like Donald Duck. I go, "That's not how I sound." And she goes, you'll learn. And so I'm going, okay, you'll learn. Learning how to hear electronically is a challenge, and it's exhausting. I would come home just wanting to fall asleep because my brain was really working overtime. If you're considering Cochlear, don't be afraid, go for it. There's a great support system out there for you. Know though that you are going to have to work. You're going to have to learn how to hear again. You need to retrain yourself, but you will have a wonderful support team. SLU support team has been great. Dr. Mikulik, everyone in the staff, the audiologists there have been wonderful. So know that you will have the support that you need. You just have to give it your time and energy. My recommendation is go for it because a whole new world opens up for you, and it's been a blessing and a gift for me.